Welcome everyone, welcome back to Cal and Katsy Universe. Today we'll be covering a special content that is based on if God of War were to be a movie, which characters should be playing our main protagonist, Kratos. First of all, I'd like us to start on what is God of War, right? God of War is a story based on Kratos, a demigod seeking revenge against his father Zeus and all the other gods, and also redemption for his past actions. The story lore revolves around Kratos, whom, like I said, is the son of Zeus, surviving death that was orchestrated by Hera, Zeus's wife, because she was angry at Zeus for having another son outside of their godly circle. Zeus, feeling pity on Kratos, actually saved Kratos. And a moment later, or eventually, Kratos' mother gave birth to another son, Deimos. While Kratos and Deimos were kids, Zeus learned he will be killed by one of his sons, a marked warrior. He ordered the execution of his son, Deimos, due to him having a visible birthmark. In honoring his brother, Kratos marked himself with the same marking his brother had and started seeking revenge and hatred towards the gods. Now, this goes straight to the criteria. Our criteria is based on actors who have actually played roles that involves brutality, cruel revenge, anger and hatred, guilt and rage, and also have been featured in multiple movies that involves combat. Now, the characters that we're speaking of, I would quickly like to say I apologize for my pronunciation of anybody's name if I did pronounce it wrong, and also I'll be adding AKAs to their names to simplify their role in which they have played in a particular movie without me having to explain from where, which movie, and what did they do there, or what character role were they playing there, you know. The first character, Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock. Our second character is Bill Gold. Then our third being Vin Diesel. And then we have Scott Adkins, aka Boyka, you know. But number 5 being Logan, right? And then Garrett Butler, aka King Leonidas. And then we also have Travis Fimmel, aka Ragnar. Expectations. We want a company that will produce the same thing or somewhat better when it comes to the game, from speech, action slash patterns with intense emotional aspects to reactions, and also capture important moments that are crucial to the movie. Like, we don't just want a company that's just gonna bam, here, God of War movie, haha, enjoy. Because as a fan of the franchise, which was produced by Sony and the developers behind it, we loved the story that God of War gave. It wasn't just a great game, it also had a very, very beautiful story. Okay, a heartwarming story, which was just involving a whole lot of brutality, but heartwarming still, you know. And I for one wouldn't just want a company that's just gonna be saying action and then expecting everybody else to play. I mean, we've seen what happened with the Lion King, okay? We don't want another Lion King shikes to happen in this movie, provided that this movie were to be created anyway. Now, the companies that I'll be speaking of are quite famous, you know. Number 1 being Paramount. I mean, Paramount Studio, it's an American film studio, the 4th oldest studio and the 2nd oldest studio in the United States, right? Its movies are quite known. Movies in listing being Titanic, you know, the famous love romance movie, Sonic the Hedgehog, the now later movie, Transformers, and I'm talking Transformers, bro, like, you know, from all that time till the age of extensions, you know what I'm saying? Avengers and Mission Impossible. If you have watched any of those movies, you've seen exactly the amount that they've added, and the action as well as the acting added. Some of them, the script added. I know some of them were not quite as good as we would have hoped, but at least they did capture some of my expectations personally. They made me not hate what the movie is about or what the actors did, but actually enjoy the movie and only criticize on a few pointers. Okay. However, in overall, Paramount, I do recommend it. If it were to be a studio that we would pick, I would pick Paramount as to be the one to be, the main cast behind this movie. Anyway, we also have Marvel Studio, is known for the production of Marvel comic Universal films, and it's based on characters that appears in Marvel comics, and I mean comics that have been published, and speaking of that, the movies that I've seen Marvel Studio produce, talking about the X-Men, the series of the X-Men, Spider-Man, we're talking Venom that was later released, we're talking Blade, for crying out loud, we're talking old school Blade, the flipping first black, superhero introduced. We're talking Blade, you know what I'm saying? We're talking the Hulk. We're talking good movies here. They may not necessarily be a banger, some of them, but most of them were to heart, okay? They were like straight there. And the action produced here, quite beautiful, okay? It was just amazing. And aside from the action itself, the story, the emotions, the hard feeling connections, the patterns you see, the you falling in love with the character, the you hating the character, the you being, oh my god, this is gonna happen, please do not go there type of ish during the movie hoping that this guy will listen to you type of ish. Hey, we've been in there with Marvel Studio. They produce quite good movies. I mean, the production is pretty decent. Okay, now we also have 21 Centuries. 21 Century is an American film studio that is a subdivision of Disney. I hope I'm correct about this because I'm not sure about it. However, I do believe it's a subdivision of Disney, because movies that involves with 21 Centuries are kind of fantasy like and Disney like in a way. We're talking Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four before the Silver Surfer, I think Doom or something. But yes, we're talking Fantastic Four, we're talking Ice Age, we're talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we're talking X-Men. Some of the X-Men would 21 Centuries also worked on, So this is a good filming studio. It's not bad. Even the movies produced were not bad. I mean, I liked Ice Age, even though it wasn't particularly a movie. It was like an animated movie. But hey, I did like it. Okay, I liked the Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer. It was quite a beautiful movie for me. Okay, then we have Summit Entertainment. Summit Entertainment is an American film production and distribution company. Okay, I don't have much more information about that. However, if you do, please leave it in the comments below. But I do not. And the movies that Summit Entertainment has been part of is John Wick. For crying out loud, I booked my flippin' tickets to go watch John Wick. Diversion, and then now you see me, right? Mr. and Mr. Smith. You clearly see where am I going with this. Okay. Any organization that releases the movie should also include Sony Studio, because man, I learned this game from Sony Studio. Sony Studio, PSP, PS2, PS3, PS4. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they should greatly include Sony Studio. But anyway, guys. In conclusion, if the God of War movie were to be created, these were some of the actors that I would like seeing at least being auditioned or interviewed for the role of Kratos. And these were some of the expectations we would like to see towards the movie, and some of the companies we would love to see producing the movie. If there's any company that you think we missed or you would like to produce the movie with the ones that we've listed above, please leave it in the comments below and tell us what's the company that you'd like to produce this movie. And if there's any other character that we didn't list, or there's a character in particular that we listed that you would love to see playing the Kratos role, please leave it in the comments below. Would love to have that interaction. And if you have any other expectations towards the movie being released, what things do you want to see, and what kind of important details you want to see, and what moments you want to see captured, please We would love to hear your thoughts in this. Would love to see and interact with you regarding the God of War movie.